we're still of sound mind. 844-500-4242. I liked when he said, too, that stimulus checks, real money, bringing relief instantly, almost. There was something poetic about that, wasn't there, Grace?
Yeah, there was a lot of poetic moments.
Do we know that? Do we know too? I mean, we begin to suspect that maybe the shooter in Boulder, Colorado, used his paycheck, his quote unquote stimulus check, to buy his firearm. Right?
Oh, do we know that?
No, I mean, we suspect it. We suspect that he spent, $700-800 on guns about a day or two after the check started arriving. So
there was another thing, Howie, that Joe Biden said that I found poetic, but now it's, let me while you go, Howie, I'm going to peruse these and I'm going to try to find which one. It wasn't the Jim Crow looks like Jim Eagle, but that one was pretty good too. He had a lot of things today that really blew my mind. At one point, he kind of stepped away from the podium and looked like he was just kind of going to circle around.
What questions would you have liked to have asked him, Grace?
Oh,
Mr. President, can you expand on your statement the other day that dogs may help cure cancer? How about that one?
Mr. President, how do Hunter and Kamala Harris feel about you firing all of those staffers for smoking marijuana?
That's a good question.
Mr. President, why do you think your vice president joined Bill Clinton for a women empowerment event? Was Andrew Cuomo or yourself unavailable?
That's a good one.
You know what? Most of my questions for the president would be about Kamala, because I think that she puts him in a real bind in a lot of situations. She compared ICE to the KKK, and now she's in charge of what's happening at the border. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, Mr. President, why didn't you explain to your immediate family members how to get rid of a gun that they don't want to have around anymore without getting busted?
I'm shocked. I thought Tom Shattuck had the best tweet. He said, if I'm Jen Psaki, I'm pulling the fire alarm and getting him out of this. Like, it just was not, it was not a good look. And the most amazing thing are these reporters that are saying, oh, you hit it out of the park. He did such a good job. It's like he came out with pants on. So I guess he's clearing the bar for you guys. But for most of Americans, most people are frightened that guy is in charge.
Yeah.
And Howie, I think we should keep playing a lot of these cuts, but
okay, go ahead. You whichever ones you like.
If I pick a couple of my favorites,
go ahead.
But first, I just want to say, Grace's News is brought to you by Toyota of Portsmouth, the house of value. Obviously, you guys know Toyota of Portsmouth has the best Toyotas, the newest models, great cars, showrooms inside, but also they just have great salespeople there that will make your experience feel very comfortable and not forced. And I can't say enough about the people there. The staff is amazing, and the showrooms are sparkling, clean, and beautiful. They're located just south of the Portsmouth traffic circle off of 95. So go to toyotaofportsmouth.com or visit them at the showroom and tell them I sent you. Okay, so Howie, I know you played a couple of things here, but there's one I haven't heard yet, so I want to play this. Cut 20, please.
Reducing taxes to the point that people who are making, if you're a husband and wife, school teacher, and a cop, you're paying at a higher rate than the average person making $1 billion a year is.
There's a lot of words he kind of just lets.
If you're a husband, a wife, a school teacher, and a cop,
you're all of those.
You're paying a higher rate than a billionaire. Let me hear that one more time. Again, I'm working on my column here.
Reducing taxes to the point that people who are making, if you're a husband and wife, school teacher, and a cop, you're paying at a higher rate than the average person making $1 billion a year is.
Okay, maybe he's describing who the husband and wife are, what their occupations are.
The average person making $1 billion a year.
A cop, you're paying at a higher rate than the average person making $1 billion a year is.
No, I think you had it right the first time. If you're a husband and wife, school teacher, and a cop, You're paying at a higher rate than the average person making $1 billion a year. Okay.
Can we also play cut 11? This is one of my personal favorites.
I have never been particularly poor at calculating how to get things done in the United States Senate. So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, we're going to get a lot done.
Not good.
If you like to be able to. Well, anyway, a lot of his things, yeah.
Let's play cut 9.
With regard to the filibuster, I believe we should go back to a position of the filibuster that existed just when I came to the United States Senate 120 years ago.
People are commenting on that on the text line, Grace, but I think he was joking about that. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Look at you being so generous today, Howie. That's awful kind of you to give him that benefit of the doubt. I'm not so sure, but whatever. We'll let that one pass. I do want to ask this question though. What is he talking about in cut 22?
Cut 22, he's talking about reuniting the children with their parents once they come across the border and trying to ask questions of the parents in order to verify their identity.
Has to happen. There have to be some certitude that this is actually mom, dad, or whomever. And there's ways to do that.
Or whomever.
There's ways to do that, a little bit like determining whether or not you got the right code for your credit card. What was your dog's name kind of thing. I'm being a bit facetious, but not really.
So does the average 9-year-old know the code on the credit card? And if you're a father or mother or whomever, I think whomever, that means the MS-13 gang recruiter.
Howie, I do not understand most of what he said during today's press conference. And then he says, am I going on too long? If I'm going on too long, just tell me. And I'm thinking, yes, you're going on way too long. You're digging yourself into a hole. By the way, Howie, I know you'll be playing these for the rest of the show, and you've also got Corey Lewandowski at 4:30. But I just wanted to throw this in because I haven't been able to talk about this story yet. It keeps popping up on my feeds. British university criticized for planned life-size Greta Thunberg statue.
Oh, I saw that yesterday.
How dare you?
Winchester University is putting up a statue of the 18-year-old Swedish activist. And do you know how much this is going to cost?
How much?
$32,000. And so some of the students are saying, this doesn't really make sense.
God. Well, she has a good press agent, though, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
It's just amazing.
We will never forgive you.
And also, I mentioned briefly about the Harris-Bill Clinton meeting. And I just wanted to tell you, Howie, because I know you're a fan of Rose McGowan.
How dare you?
She's one of the first people to really call out Harvey Weinstein, and she doesn't fall for all this Hollywood BS anymore. She tweeted at Kamala Harris, "This is obscene. You speaking with Bill Clinton about empowering women and girls is disgusting. Have you no soul? Have you no ethics?"
Yes, the answer is yes.
Ask him about being on an
no.
island.
Is it the answer? No. Have I? No, I don't. I guess the answer is no. Excuse me.
Well, it's have you no soul. So the answer
would be yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. The answer would be yes.
Yes.
Ask him about being on an island of human trafficking victims 27 times. You are showing us exactly who you are. She's my favorite person in Hollywood. And also, speaking of going back to Greta Thunberg, we were talking earlier about how Hunter Biden, really his ex-girlfriend Hallie, and his sister-in-law, she's still a sister-in-law, really, they disposed of a gun by wrapping it in a plastic bag and dropping it off at a supermarket or a market that they like to shop at.
Mm-hmm.
And this got me thinking, because pollution's a big problem. And I was thinking, Howie, how, a lot of people I know don't even stick straws in the trash anymore. They cut them up before they dispose of them. And, the Bidens are just sticking revolvers in the trash. But then I saw this story. Masks and gloves are saving lives, but causing a ton of pollution.
Oh, no.
Disposable
Say it
masks,
ain't so.
gloves, and other types of PPE are safeguarding untold lives during the coronavirus pandemic. They're also creating a worldwide pollution problem. Thank you for that, Taylor. The Pacific Beach Coalition recently noticed a dramatic increase in discarded PPE because they clean up this beach every year. And Howie, the numbers, this is the quote from the person. They said, "What are we going to do? We got masks, we got gloves, we got all those hand wipes, the Sandy wipes. They're everywhere. They're in my neighborhood, in my streets. What can we do?" And a report last year by the group Oceans Asia found nearly 1.6 billion masks would flood oceans in 2020 alone.
No. Actually, last summer, there were so many on the streets in Wellesley when I would walk down to the Pete's Coffee, which Charlie Parker has since put out of business. I thought that, instead of putting a deposit, they want to put a 5-cent deposit on nip bottles. Remember that? They tried that.
Yes, I do.
They should have been putting the 5-cent deposit on masks.
No, right. I mean, there
were a lot more masks than nip bottles on my daily walks. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'd have no problem picking up all of those.
No, I think I'd pass. I think I would pass on the nips
saying,
too.
Howard, put down that mask. Do not pick that up.
Some about nip bottles too that get crushed by cars with some regularity. I'm not picking up any nip bottles. I don't care if they put a dime on them.
Even Howie has to draw the line somewhere.
Are you going to rejoin town meeting and lobby for a mask deposit?
No, I'm not. I'm not rejoining town meeting. That was a bad decision on my part to ever get involved with town meeting. They said they were going to build a senior center in Wellesley, and I was tempted to stand up and say, "Why do we need a senior center? We got it right here. It's called a Wellesley Town Meeting."
Oh my gosh.
But I decided to bite my tongue and not say anything.
I'm sure there were many tears shed when you resigned.
Were you the young whippersnapper in that group? Like, that Howie, that blonde guy rolls in here after work, thinks he's really something else.
Sometimes I had to bring my computer in and finish my column when I was just sitting there. Yeah.
The big shot with his fancy computer.
I had no choice, Grace.
Do you have a Bluetooth in your ear too?
Play cut 16.
Have you decided whether you are going to run for re-election in 2024? You haven't set up a re-election campaign yet, as your predecessor had by this time.
My predecessor needed to. My predecessor. Oh, God, I miss him. No, an answer is yes. My plan is to run for re-election. That's my expectation.
We all miss
I think that's my kicker for the column. My predecessor. Oh, God, I miss him. So do we all, Mr. President.
Finally, he's speaking for the entire country. Wait, Howie, can I just say one more thing in sad news? Jessica Walter has died at 80. She, for me, she's known for Arrested Development. She played the cranky older mom who always had a martini in her hand, and she was fabulous. She was a really great actress. But someone also just pointed out on my Twitter, she was also the crazy girlfriend in one of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies. Play Misty for me. She was the psychotic ex-girlfriend. So rest in peace to Jessica Walter.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. It's officially spring, and that means allergy season is back. Fortunately, so is the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier BOGO offer. Buy one, get one free. BOGO. That's right. BOGO is back for this week only until Sunday, March 28th. As warmer temps arrive, you're going to want to open those doors and windows. Open doors and windows mean pollen inside. More pollen means even more need for the Thunderstorm Air Purifier. One user wrote, "The Thunderstorm does what it claims. It definitely is effective on my husband's allergies, sneezing, runny nose, and coughing." The Thunderstorm is a small device you can hold in your hand, as I'm doing right now, one in each hand. You can plug it into your electrical outlet or into your car by USB cable to purify the air. And with Thunderstorm, with BOGO, each Thunderstorm costs well under $100. The Thunderstorm Air Purifier works like a real thunderstorm. It quietly sends out super oxygen and ions to kill odors in your room and purify the air.
Like I said, Howie, Easter is coming up. If you're having people over your house or you're going to someone else's house and you may be, prone to some smells at your home for whatever reason, there's a dog or a cat or you're cooking something a little bit funky, get the Thunderstorm, get the BOGO offer. You're going to want more than one because they work fantastic. You're going to want to use it in a different area of your home, maybe in your car, maybe in your office.
Right. Whatever the smell problem is, this will handle it.
Exactly.
And Buy one, get one free. BOGO. The more you buy, the more you save, and there are no limits. But only for this week. Go to EdenPure.com, click on the radio banner, and use code word HowieBOGO at checkout. That's EdenPure.com radio banner and code word HowieBOGO. With BOGO, your problem rooms will no longer be a problem. I'm Howie Carr.
You might want to keep a close eye on your fried clams. Howie Carr returns after